Hi, my name is Kevin Bowen, and for my presentation, I will be talking about why college athletes should be getting paid. Before I start this presentation, I would like to show a short clip for the CNN documentary of why college athletes should be getting paid by Brian Camel.
Sounding contrary, I mean, people in trite fashion ask from time to time, should players be paid? I like to phrase it in a different fashion, which is we have this multi-billion-dollar collegiate sports industry. We have to figure out a way to fairly compensate those who are fueling that industry. Like Bernie said, what a great business model. You make billions, oh, and by the way, you don't have to pay the employees anything. How great is that? It's the only institution in America that you can think of like this, where you're making billions of dollars, oh, and by the way, you don't pay the people. The other argument.
And that was that short clip. Athletes deserve to get paid because they put their bodies on the line on an everyday basis, typically practicing 10 months out of a year. For example, I do play football, and since playing at the age of 17, I've already had 3 surgeries, 2 on my knee and 1 on the shoulder. Both during the knee were 2 torn ACLs, of course, both different years. Still had to have surgery on both of them, and the other one was a torn shoulder labrum, which also took about 7 to 8 months for me to rehab and get back on the field. Billions of dollars are being made off of this industry, and players are not seeing a dime of it. I had wrote in my paper that Tim Tebow, the quarterback for Florida Gators from 2007 to 2010, had brought over $80,000 alone just from his jersey sales. And even to this day, 2014, he has not seen a single cent of it. I don't think he cares because he's already a millionaire right now. But that's just one example. They call us amateur players, but the coaches are making $4 million a year. Does that mean the coach is also an amateur coach? Most people say that's their job. Then what is our job? Student first, athlete second. But if that's the case, we usually put in 43.3 hours a week, 3.3 more hours than a typical adult on an average work week. For basketball, the NCAA tournaments, men and women's basketball during March Madness, rakes in over $1 billion throughout the course of March, not including revenue that they got from the commercials, which is usually 30 seconds, which for 30 seconds costs $700,000. I'm going to be reading off some topics or main points of why college athletes, I wouldn't say 21 reasons, but a good 10 reasons why college athletes should be getting paid. Last year, 2013, the average salary for a football coach, just the football coach, not including baseball or anything, was $2.5 million. And that's just the average between coaches. There's over 52 different kind of teams. And that's just in Division I itself, not including D2, D3, or NAIA. A second point, the average salary of a premier NCAA men's basketball coach also exceeds $1 million. In 40 out of 50 U.S. states, the highest paid public official is currently a head coach of a state or university basketball or football men's team. I don't see how that is possible when the people that they're coaching are the ones that are making the money. Yeah, they put in time, but they don't put their bodies on the line. As I said earlier, me, for example, while playing football, you can go under serious injury. Most players usually end their career with multiple ACL surgeries. If you're lucky, you keep playing. Dislocated elbows, back problems, damage to your spine. And most players, if hit incorrectly, they can have severe spinal damage. My main point for this is that in total, including baseball, basketball, football, volleyball, soccer, of college sports, everything that they rake in 1 year is $6 billion. Everything totaled up. The average scholarship for a student costs $25,000 a year, which is, if they go a full 4 years in college, is $100,000. Most people want to say that that is our payment, but I don't accept that, because back home our mother is struggling. Someone else's mother can be struggling. Their dad, their sister, their grandparents, whoever raised them, they can be getting evicted out of the house. But the people that are televising you and the coaches that are coaching you are making $5 million a year, where you're making nothing, and your family is out in the cold. Another point that I like to say is, in 2012, the top 10 richest football teams generated total revenue of $1 billion. That same year, the top 15 richest basketball teams totaled $440 million, and the amount given to a player was zero. If players even attempt to make money off the system that they're being suppressed in, heavy penalties or fines could be placed on them, sometimes suspension, sometimes a loss of the scholarship, which also results from being kicked out of school since you are part of the school off your scholarship that you earned. In 2013, Johnny Manziel for the Texas A&M Aggies was suspended the first half of the game for being accused of selling his autograph to make money that he signed. How can multiple people make billions off of one group of people, but those same group of people that try to get just a couple bucks back into their pocket so they can spend, so they can go out to eat, they get in trouble for that? Just because you're part of a scholarship does not mean that you are cared for in a full capacity that most people believe that a college athlete is. I know plenty of people that have full scholarships to schools but are still struggling just to eat day by day. And I know some that have to steal just to be able to eat, or they have to wait every week when they go out of town to go play a rival school. They take the leftover food that is given to them. I don't believe this is right. Like earlier was said from Bryant Campbell, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is going on. As I said earlier, $6 billion is being made every year off of all the sports combined, and no player sees a dime of it. My solution to this is a stipend check of maybe $3,000-$4,000 every 2 months, every month, actually, because I think that's what the players deserve, to buy clothes, food, if they need 2 cars, drive back and forth between home and school if they live in the area, and money to send back to your parents. Because I know I'd love to send money back to my mom. She helped get me here. She was always there when people said I couldn't make it. And now that I have, it's a different story. But thank you. That's my presentation.